Hey girl, hey! So today, ladies, we are going to talk about feminine hygiene because it is of utmost importance when you're a woman. Like, there's nothing more important than taking care of your body. So today we're just gonna, go through 12 tips that I have for you guys, just tips that you should probably consider because it's good for you. And a lot of you guys know I'm a nurse, so I encourage these things. I encourage it. I feel like there are some important general tips that young women, teenage girls, and even older, like middle-aged women can benefit from by following some of these tips. So let's jump into it, girl. So my first tip is super important. I think everybody knows you should drink water. Drink lots of water. You can have bad reactions from drinking too little water or even too much water. So see your doctor and find out what might be the good, balance. Maybe your size or your weight has something to do with it. Maybe you have other health issues that may affect your water intake and things like that. So make sure you see your make sure you see your doctor and find out, how much water you should actually be taking in on a daily basis. Because like I said, it can have a good impact or bad impact whether or not you have too little or too much water in your system. So don't just go and do these challenges where you're drinking 8 gallons of water a day and stuff like that, because that can be bad for your kidneys. And that's just stuff from, things I've learned in school or patients that I've had to deal with. But anyways, girl, for your feminine bits, you want to make sure you drink plenty of water, enough to suffice your bodily need. My next tip is to take a multivitamin and or a probiotic. Now, I've been back and forth with probiotics, and multivitamins I'm kind of okay with. I'm still getting used to trying to take them every day because right now I'm taking tablets and I prefer the gummies. I don't know what crossed my mind to make me buy tablets instead of the gummies the day that I went to the store, but I have some tablets and they're just one a day tablets with vitamin C and D in it. And so I've just been taking those daily, or trying to take them daily. So I need to actually follow my own tip and take my multivitamin every day, because it's very important that if you don't get all the vitamins and minerals that you need from food, that you get it some other way, whether that's via taking a supplement as in a multivitamin or drinking a supplement like Ensure or Boost or something like that. Make sure that you're trying to get all the nutrients that you need that's recommended for the daily intake. That actually benefits your overall health. So it's not just for your feminine bits, but your feminine bits do benefit from you taking your multivitamin because it kind of keeps things in balance with your, your hormones and your chemicals in your body. So it's very important to try to take a multivitamin or probiotic. Now, a probiotic will more so affect your bacteria levels and stuff like that. So that more directly affects your feminine bits, which is what we're going to be calling the vag. So just to keep this more, friendly, audience friendly, it does that by balancing your good bacteria and your bad bacteria. So if you take a probiotic, it will affect your intestinal bacteria and your vaginal flora. So, and this can help prevent yeast infections, bacterial vaginosis, things like that. So try taking your vitamins daily. My third tip is to avoid constrictive, restrictive clothing. I know we all like to look sexy sometimes, and we like to go all out, wear our little booty shorts and our thongs and the tight spandex leggings and things like that. But girl, avoid wearing those type of clothing for a long period of time. So I would say, I guess it's okay, when you're going out to wear stuff like that, because you're not really out for a long time. You're probably out for maybe 4 or 5 hours, unless you're all-nighter partier, so, which is okay too. But I feel a lot of women actually wear more cocktail dresses and things like that out, but there are women who like to wear leggings and booty shorts and stuff like that. And girl, do you, that's all good. I've been there, done that, probably still will do it again. But yeah, just don't stay in those type of clothing for long periods of times would be my tip. And try to avoid it altogether if you can. Like I said, I know it's kind of hard because, you know, you may be going somewhere, you want to look cute, and what you want to wear is like really tight, you know, you showing camel toe and everything. But just beware of the fact that the tighter your clothing, the more heat is going to stay trapped in there, and the more bacteria is going to build from the heat that's trapped in there. So you gotta let her breathe. You gotta let her breathe. Which brings me to wearing breathable underwear, which is my fourth tip. And this is just basically a general tip that everybody knows. Like, you wanna wear cotton underwear more often than those other types of underwear. I mean, I have lacy underwear. I have, you know, those little spandex underwears. Yeah, so you want to make sure that you wear mostly cotton underwear, and if you wear thongs, make sure your thongs have cotton, like cotton on the seat. Like, some thongs don't come with a seat padding thing or whatever. Yeah, so just make sure that your underwear is something that your vagina just make sure that your underwear is accommodating for your feminine bits, because that's very important. She needs to breathe. She needs to breathe. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is tip number 5, which is to avoid highly fragrant or scented supplies or soap. When you buy like tampons and pads and liners and stuff like that, some brands, which I really don't get it, like why, they have scented versions of these items, and it's like, why? Like, we all know putting things that don't belong inside your vagina is, oh God. If I say vagina, that's a health term, so whatever, right? So we all know that putting things in there that don't belong in there can cause problems. So you're gonna put something that's also scented in there. That's almost equivalent to douching, and douching isn't actually recommended like that. If your doctor tells you it's okay for you to douche, then by all means go ahead. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not here to give medical advice, but douching isn't something that's highly regarded as something that you should do, because it can cause imbalance in your pH and cause other issues. You know, that would cause other issues. So you want to be careful what type of items and fragrant smelling things that you use. Try to use, you know, unscented pads, unscented tampons. Use a menstrual cup if you can, and make sure that you boil it, sanitize it, so that, you know, between each use, so that you're not introducing any new bacteria to your feminine bits. Yeah, and try not to use any like highly scented soaps or anything like that, because that can also cause either like extreme drying. And it's like, you want her to be moist, but you want her to be dry. It's like you want her to be moist on the inside, but you want her to be dry on the outside, you know? I hope that makes sense. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is something that I've been practicing since being a nurse. Like, I honestly never used to do this. I started doing this when I was in nursing school, because I realized that in my field of work that I come in contact with germs and bacteria and just sick people in general every day. So to protect myself and to protect my family from me like bringing something home or getting something or whatever, I make sure that when I use the restroom, especially at work or in public places, because sometimes at home I don't think about it because it's like your own personal bathroom and different things like that, and you kind of know what you were doing in your house. You weren't like, you know, giving somebody their, you know, their G-tube feeding or things like that, or giving somebody an injection or doing wound care or something like that. These are things that I do on my day-to-day at work. So it's like there's always bacteria and gross stuff from other people that I'm coming in contact with. Even though I wear gloves, it does not matter. Like, you wear gloves, you wash your hands with soap and water in between each patient, and it's like you still have to take that precautionary measure when you use the restroom. And here it is: make sure you wash your hands before and after you use the restroom. So whenever I use the bathroom at work, I wash my hands, and then I use the toilet, and then I wash my hands again, because I don't want to introduce any type of germs, fungus, bacteria, anything that I come in contact with at work to my feminine bits. You know, you're wiping with toilet paper and your hand is there, your nails, you might have stuff on your, you know, wash your hands thoroughly before you use the bathroom. Now I understand that that may not be something that you can do every single time, because maybe you just really need to pee. Like nurses, we don't really get a break every single day, so sometimes you just really have to go. But just be mindful of that at times, that, you know, germs can travel in that way. And yeah, I would definitely take that tip into consideration if I was one of you guys, you know. Just saying. My 7th tip is to make sure that you wipe from front to back. Wipe from front to back, wipe from front to back, wipe from front to back. Now, as an adult, this should make sense. You're wiping from front to back because you don't want to be pulling shit, essentially, to your vagina. I mean, that's basically what it is. You're pulling the bacteria and anything up in your crack down to, you know, your feminine bits, and you don't want to do that, because then that can also cause other infections and things like that that you don't want to go through. Okay, girl, you just do not want to go through that. I'm telling you, you don't want to go through it. So make sure you wipe from front to back, okay? Front to back. My 8th tip is to use a condom. Use a condom, get tested routinely for STDs, and HIV and whatever else, you know, hepatitis B, C, A, whatever. And also to make sure that you get your annual exam. Now, women, you know, you go to your annual exam, they'll do your lab work, they'll do your pap smear, they'll do an ultrasound if need be. They'll test you for STDs and HIV and all of that. So they'll do your mammogram if you're of age or if they feel anything unusual. So just make sure that you keep up with your doctor visits. Make sure that you, if you're a person who sleeps with multiple individuals, you know, some people don't believe in monogamy, some people are just like that, and that's fine. That's you, that's fine. I don't judge. But if you're a person who sleeps with multiple partners and you don't use protection, that can actually lead to some type of infection in itself. It may not be a STD, but it can be like bacterial vaginosis, it can be a yeast infection, things like that, because those people are probably sleeping with other people without protection, and then you're sleeping with them without protection, and everybody's balance and their bodily chemicals are different. So, you know, when you're sleeping with the same person, your body kind of gets used to them, and then you throw in this new person or other people, and it's like always changing. And with it always changing, if that makes sense, that can cause issues as well. So, I mean, if you're in a monogamous relationship and you're with your partner for however many years, and you know that both of you are faithful to each other, you're not sleeping around, whatever, then, you know, by all means do you, girl, because I do me. But, you know, like I said, if it's like the alternative, you know, like I just explained, then make sure you stay up on your routine checks, and try to have protected sex. Especially if you're a young teenage girl out here watching this video, please make sure you use a condom at all times, okay? Because it's just very important that you look out for yourself, because nobody else is gonna look out for you when it comes time for that stuff, okay? Number 9 is to sleep with no underwear on. Now, like we were talking about before with the cotton underwear, you know, allow your vagina to breathe and stuff like that. This is another alternative. You can sleep with no underwear on. So, I mean, I would say you can balance it. Like, let's say you wear constrictive clothing that day, sleep with no underwear that night. Give her some air, because the oxygen that your feminine bits is exposed to when you have no underwear is actually good for it. It actually helps to prevent yeast from building too much. It's very good to sleep with no underwear on. You know, it's quite a long period of time that you're sleeping, whether it's 4 to 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours, whatever. That's still a good amount of time to just allow yourself to breathe. and, you know, catch some air, you know, be at peace. Yeah, so I think that's a good tip as well, and I feel like a lot of people always give that tip, and that's because it actually does benefit you. It does. It gets more technical as far as like why that's good to do, but I don't want to get into all of that too deep right now because I don't want this video to be forever long. So moving along, my 10th tip is to assess your discharge and your cervix. And this isn't something you have to do every day as far as assessing your cervix. You don't have to stick your finger up in there every day and check it, but it's good to do it ever so often just to see if you feel anything different, any bumps or lumps or anything out of the ordinary, if you have any pain when you check. And that is also how you assess your discharge. You stick your finger up towards your cervix and then you pull it out, and then you check your discharge on your finger, and you can see, like, you can see it, you can smell it, you can whatever, some people will go as far as tasting it, I don't know about that, but you can assess your discharge that way. And just keep in mind that discharge is supposed to be a certain consistency and color and texture throughout your cycle. So yeah, just be aware of any changes. Maybe you're eating something that's causing it to be more clumpy. Maybe you're not eating enough of something that's causing it to be clumpy. Maybe you're just not producing enough of a hormone. But like I said, get with your doctor and find out like your baseline of everything so that you can know what to do, what not to do, yeah, and things like that. So that brings me to number 11, which is to eat a balanced diet. Now, now the government makes this chart, my food plate or whatever it's called. It used to be a pyramid, now it's a plate. They make that whole thing about, like, you know, how much of each food group you're supposed to have a day. Some people nowadays are vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, flexitarian, and so they have to eat different, they have to eat more or less of certain food groups, so based on their actual diet that they're personally partaking in, and that's fine, but you still want to make sure that you get the beneficial foods that you're supposed to. So you want to just make sure you eat a lot of basically fruits and vegetables. Like I said before, drink water. You know, it's best to drink 100% juice rather than like juice that's artificially flavored, artificially made, has different dyes and things like that in it. Basically, when it comes down to it and your feminine bits, you are what you eat. So sometimes you'll eat something and you'll be like, oh, like, you know, I have a slight odor, it smells like something. So it may be based on what you ate. Sometimes you'll eat something that smells really fruity, let's say like pineapples, and you may smell more, you know, fruity. So you may have more of a sweet smelling, you know, scent. So yeah, just make sure that you try to eat a balanced diet. I think that's very important for everyone. And lastly, my 12th tip is to shower before and after exercise and or sex/intercourse. You want to make sure that you do this because when you exercise, you get hot, you get sweaty, she gets hot, she gets sweaty, and you don't want to, like I said, build up that heat, trap that heat in, and then cause bacteria to grow and fester, and that can cause issues that you do not want to deal with. So make sure that you shower immediately after exercising if you can. Or let's say you're at the gym, bring an extra change of clothes. If they have showers, bring some flip-flops so you can take a shower and change before you go home. It doesn't have to be like a full shower, just like rinse off, dry off, go home, then take a real shower. Some people do that, or some people will just go home and shower. Some people leave the gym and go to the grocery store. Another thing that you can do if you're working out at a gym or something is probably just, like I said, like bring an extra change of clothing. Like you can bring like an extra pair of pants and like underwear. Go into a bathroom stall, have a little, like have some feminine wipes or something, freshen up, dry yourself, and then put those on, and then go on and do your errands. And then when you go home, you can take an actual shower and, you know, be more fresh or clean or whatever. And yeah, same thing with intercourse. You want to make sure that you shower before and after. It doesn't have to be immediately, you know. Some people, they have sex right before they go to bed, so they go to sleep and then they get up. But try to shower, you know, when you get up, or as soon as you can, I would say, I guess, after having sex, because that way you can keep your body clean. So along with that, I'm gonna throw in a bonus tip, is to make sure you urinate before and after sex, and that would be kind of immediately after, I would say, because it being, you know what it is rubbing on your meatus. It's rubbing on your meatus, which is the opening to your urethra, which leads to your bladder. And so to help prevent UTIs, you want to make sure that you urinate, you know, right after, or if you can, right after. When you're in the moment, you're in the moment. You're not thinking about that crap. Yeah, so it's not something that you're constantly like, oh my God, I have to make sure that I do it. I have to make sure that I do it. It's just a tip, you know, to help you to prevent additional bacteria from building up in those areas, and to help keep it fresh and clean. So yeah, those are all 12 of my tips plus the bonus tip. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm looking forward to doing more like health-based videos this year, because like I said, I am a nurse, so I can definitely make more videos that are health-based. I used to have Wellness Wednesdays on my channel, but you know, with me being in school and stuff right now, I'm trying to finish up. I'm almost done, thank goodness. So I'm just like, my focus is there right now, so I'm just doing the best I can to keep up with posting whatever content that comes to mind. But like I said, I will try to do more health-based videos if you guys like this type of stuff. So yeah, I will talk to you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, Beauty Babes. See you later. Peace.